This is Watch Your Style. My name is Eric. Today we have again for you special guest from New York City, the Rolex Enforcer. All right, so today I want to discuss a couple things about the current situation in the watch market as a whole. You know, there's a lot of changes and influences with the whole iWatch, and you know, people that never even wore watches before and have no interest in luxury watches are now wearing an iWatch. So it's like, you know, how do you feel about the iWatch? How do you feel about brands in general? You know, I got a lot of points that I want to go over, but you know, how do you feel about the watch market right now, today, you know, 2016?
I mean, I think a lot of people started freaking out about the Apple Watch. They thought it was going to dethrone the Swiss watch game, you know, similar to the quartz crisis of 1970, you know, and I think the Apple Watch is pretty cool. You know, I own a couple of smartwatches, and every once in a while I post them on my Instagram, and you have purists that get really upset. They're like, oh, that's not a real watch. How dare you wear that? You know, and I just think the Apple Watch it's a cool thing, you know, and people get into watches in stages, and eventually those people playing around with an Apple Watch, they're going to want to graduate into something better, and then they're going to go to the store, they're going to go pick up maybe a Tag Heuer, then after that they're going to get into an Omega, then a Rolex, then an AP, and that's how it happens. You know,
now that you said the Tag, it's interesting that you know, that smartwatch that Tag has, I've heard supposedly you buy it, you use it for a couple years, and then obviously it's going to become obsolete, and they end up letting you trade it in with like a large discount towards a mechanical watch. Isn't that kind of like ironic?
No, I haven't. Well, I haven't paid much attention, but from the last thing I understood was that you can, after 2 or 3 years, for like an extra $1,700 or $2,000, they'll pop a movement into your same watch.
Pretty interesting, right? They sell you this smartwatch, but at the end, they're gonna get you back to the original stuff. You know, that's all I have to say about the iWatch and everything else. You know, I had a guy come into the store not too long ago, and he said, "Hey, are you guys losing a lot of sales because of that Fitbit?" And I said, "What the hell's a Fitbit?" Obviously, I know what a Fitbit is. It's one of those little bands that you put on and it counts your steps on. But I looked at the guy, I was like, "Man, what the hell are you talking about?" You know. I got clients that have $100,000 watches on one hand and a Fitbit on the other. I think one doesn't have to do with the other.
It's two totally different niches, two totally different market. One won't affect the other. It's impossible.
All right, so that already being covered, you know, the iWatch is cool. I don't see myself even paying on a trade-in $500 for a solid rose gold one. I just don't want it, you know. But back to the market as a whole. You know, the reports come out saying that there's like kind of like a slowdown. I personally think from what I've been seeing, it has to just do with the whole economy as a whole. But overall, you know, the guys in Switzerland are still whipping out a bunch of new products and new designs and stuff like that. But how do you see it, man? You think 2016 is going to maybe possibly be a little bit better, or what do you think?
Yeah, well, 2015, it was, you know, globally there was a 30% decline in the watch sales, and it affected everybody, straight from the manufacturers to the dealers, you know. So I mean, this year, you know, it's tied into the economy. If the economy's bad, I mean, there's less money for people to go out and buy luxury, any luxury accessory.
Yeah.
You know, that's like if people are tight on money, the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna say, let's not go out and eat at a restaurant. Let's order Chinese food and save $150, $200. So it's all relative. You know, the less money you have to play with, you know. So that's. But I see the economy, it got better at the end of the year. So I think 2016 is going to be a good year for everybody.
You know what? I feel also like in 2015, you know, I'm sure they probably saw a slowdown, but also their numbers are not recorded with the sale of pre-owned watches. And I do feel like a lot of people did buy pre-owned watches. And, man, I watches are here to stay. This mentality that people think that all of a sudden these high-end watches are going to go away, it's not going to happen. One thing that I do want to talk about is, and I want to give a disclaimer right off the bat, is look, I am a fan of, I like Hublots, I like the watches, but I'm a little bit, you know, I don't know what's going on in these board meetings that they have up there in Geneva or wherever it is that they have them. Maybe they're in Bangkok. I don't know where the hell these, you know, what are they thinking, you know? What other model can they possibly come out with? I mean, is there a Donald Trump coming out one and a Hillary Clinton edition? I mean, what else can they do?
if they feel they can sell them, then I think they'll make them.
You know, I want to get in line for the Chapo Guzman one. You know, like I don't understand what they're thinking. For example, they come out with the LaFerrari. Okay, awesome watch, crazy design, you know, that's fine. Whether they're discounted or whether the guy that bought it retail feels like selling it for $50, that's that guy's problem. Hublot already made their money, that's their thing. But they go around and they now all of a sudden make it out of sapphire crystal. Okay, amazing feat, you know. 5 years ago it was like, oh my God, you know, it's the case is made by David Copperfield, it's pure magic, you know. But then they go and they add this retail that's like stupid. I mean, I'm just saying, you already got this full-blown crazy work of horology, and then you go and you add a sapphire case. I think that the retail needed to go up like $300,000 to really like make it that exclusive. Hublot's got an Unico going around for $39.99 right now. Almost, pretty much, $39.99. I mean, it's like $50,000 retail, you know. So that's part of, I don't know how you feel, but is it me, or is that kind of, along with other brands, kind of diluting the market as a whole?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't look good for Richard Mille. I mean, there's full sapphire watch is 1.6, you know, and then Hublot. Yeah, I feel like with all the limited edition releases that they had, and now with this sapphire fiasco, I think they're harming the market.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want it to be taken wrong. I love the Big Bang, you know. I like the watches. So I say it more like out of passion because, okay, I get it. You know, I don't say Hublot. I don't compare it like it's a Patek, you know, or anything like that. But I like them. You know, they sell. It's a good-looking watch. For a guy that really can afford to have a lot of watches, who cares if he has every brand and some Hublots? You know, people sit there and be like, Hublot is not really a watch brand. Listen, when you got enough money, you can have whatever you want, including the Hublots. But I just, you know, I don't know if they're running out of ideas up there in Geneva. You know, then you got Rolex playing it cool, where they don't even come out with a complication. You know.
Yeah, I think Hublot it's just okay to have a Hublot. I just feel like if they release another limited edition model, I'm gonna lose my lunch because they have more limited edition than regular edition models.
Yeah.
You know, and they're following Omega with the Speedmaster, and that's the only watch that has kept them alive for the last 50 years. Now they got the dark side, the light side of the moon, the white side of the moon. Like I don't even know what they're doing anymore. You know.
You know, I feel like maybe one day in the future we'll be talking about the special edition crisis of the watch market. You know, because there's a special edition for everything, and now for me the special edition is the regular ones. You know. It's almost like when someone calls me and goes, hey man, I got this watch for sale, it's a special edition. That already started off wrong. Unless you're calling me and you're telling me, I got a Michael Schumacher or a Montoya or some real heavy special edition. It's kind of like, well, you know, I got a Monaco Yacht Club. I'm like, so, you know, or...
You know, I'll say something about the thing with the Swiss market, with the Swiss industry, is that they become very complacent. Like I said before, in the 70s, the Japanese came with the quartz, knocked them off their ass. More than half of the Swiss companies went bankrupt, you know, and I think in a way they need that because they dominate the watch market so much that they're collecting money. They just sit back. Oh,
I know.
You know, let's do this, and that's why Richard Mille came in and it shook up the watch market because now these guys are pumping out some crazy designs, you know, and it makes Patek like, you know, Patek has to say, wow, you know, we got to do something. You know what though? But
that is where Patek and like FP Journe and those type of companies are the purists. They're not gonna make a special edition. They're not gonna do any rapid changes. They're not gonna do nothing because you know what? They're built more on like the safe bet and like heritage and all that. So it's like two different things. And I get it. You know, those are the brands that thank God are gonna hold it down and are always gonna have these traditional models, and they're not gonna be like, you know what? I was completely. Just like, you know, I didn't see it coming, you know, and no way did I see that Rolex was going to release a James Cameron. I was like, oh, what? You know what I mean? Like, you know, at least they did it smart. Like, they came out with it, okay, and then they like got rid of it. They don't make them anymore, supposedly, rumors and stuff. But I was blindsided by that. I was like, Rolex made like a special edition, you know. But you know, at least the true brands are hopefully gonna keep it real. You know, AP definitely got the memo.
Yeah, they were doing a little extra with the limited editions, but they cut that out quick. Yeah,
I
they
mean,
had to. They had to.
They did. You know, at first, like the LeBron came out, and I was kind of like, eh. And let me tell you, at first I didn't like the LeBron, but then it kind of grew on me.
Yeah, it grows on everybody.
You know, the LeBron is nice.
I didn't like it either.
And there's not a lot of them. You know, there's not a lot of them because one thing I've noticed about some of these other brands is that they have special editions, but there's just, I mean, I feel like the watch back in the case says 1,500, but I feel like there's a million of them. You know, I don't know. I don't know if it really is what it's saying. You know.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, so
AP got they got their stuff together.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I think that, like I said, I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't work on a daily basis in a boardroom. Okay, had I been in the boardroom when AP said we're gonna come out with a chronograph diver, I would have just jumped up and been like, absolutely not, because what do you need a chrono diver for?
That watch, as nice looking as it is, it makes absolutely no sense. But even the regular diver, for you to work the bezel, you can't do it underwater anyway. You know, so I don't understand
Sometimes I think that they should stick to the proven designs and just kind of like add little things to it to make it better. You know, like just keep working on that same design and make it better and not steer too far. Sometimes I know they're scared of coming out with a whole new line. I mean, I wouldn't want to come out with a whole new model, especially when you have, for example, AP a Royal Oak case. I mean, it's pretty scary to just come out with this random new case.
Yeah.
But and I know that they're running out of things to do, but I think that's when they really got to sit there and be more innovative and not so complacent. You know.
So basically, they should follow Rolex's business model.
Well, you know, a little bit. You know, I don't want it to be all boring. You know, but definitely, you know. The Hublots that came out right now, it's like I don't even know what to say. I'm just kind of sitting, and like I'm telling you, I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. You know, I'm a watch lover in general. I like all watches. Okay, I like them all. From Seiko, I saw a Citizen that came out the other day that I was looking at, and I was like, man, that Citizen's looking kind of nice, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it looks pretty nice. You know, yeah, of course, it's for different levels in the watch game, but you know, I like Hublot, and I'm sitting back there, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I feel like is the plane burning and about to crash, or what's going on? You know?
Yeah, like I like now they started to push a lot the fusion chronograph. You know, it's
I like that model.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's a different route to go other than the Big Bang. You know, you'll see 10 Big Bangs before you see a fusion chrono, so that might be the better way to go, to be a little bit under the radar.
Definitely some brands are more aggressive than others, like IWC and companies like that, and like Vacheron and stuff like that are a little bit more just, you know, they're not so radical. You know, they're not so radical with their changes. They might just maybe introduce a new metal, a new dial combination, you know, and I guess it works for them. So I just feel like for 2016 to 17, we need to get some type of balance. That's just my opinion. The guys in the board meetings will probably flick me off and send me hate mail, but I'm just sitting back and I'm looking at it and I'm just like, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah, they were doing too much, but I think I think Hublot's they're gonna get their act together. You know?
Yeah. I mean, at least we hope. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways. Pretty much, let's see what happens now going forward with the watch market. It's definitely safe to say that a luxury watch in the right price and the right model is always going to be a safe investment, because it's always just something of luxury, and between the work that they're made into it, it's always going to hold value.
Yeah, I'd suggest people to find a reputable dealer and deal with them. And always, I mean, there's no need to buy new. You know, you get yourself a reputable dealer. Now I have CRM, so now I'm happy. I don't have any problems when I look for a watch. You know, but just find somebody that you trust and buy the dealer, not the watch. You have to trust your dealer.
You know, absolutely. I'm a fan of pre-owned watches. There are models that can't be found pre-owned, and some people have the means to go buy them brand new. I say by all means, go and buy it brand new. You know, someone has to get it; they gotta get it.
Yeah.
You know, I would just be very cautious. Just make sure that you're in the financial position that you can go and just buy a full retail and get the champagne glass and the good experience, which isn't a bad experience. You know.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens moving forward in the watch market, and we hope to see a lot of new stuff. And remember, there'll always be the proven designs that are never going to fail. So stay tuned for more videos on watches along with the Rolex Enforcer. If you like this video, don't forget to like and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. My name is Eric. watch your style.